All right, Anna Maria. One of my favorite questions is about influencers, and my grandfather influenced me when I was a little kid. He's from Kiev, and in Montreal, he took me on walks in the park, and I said to him, because he talked to me, but I say to him, I called him Zeta. I said, Zeta, how do you know all these people? And he said, I didn't know any of them. I just smiled at them, and they smiled back at me, and then they started talking to me, so I talked back to them, and then we became friends and whatnot. And over the years, I realized even more how that influenced me about so many things, about engaging, about kindness, about stuff like that. Can you share two or three people that have influenced you in your life?
Yeah, so this is a very difficult question because there's a lot of people, of course, that influence me every day, and that I'm so grateful to know and to have in my life. I would say, of course, the first one is my mother, because my mother has been there from the beginning. She's been the one that has really encouraged me. She's one of those people that even if you make a mistake, or even if something bad used to happen in school, or something, maybe I wasn't prepared sometimes, or I failed an exam, things that you do always when you're young. She was always coming and backing me 100%. So that gave me a lot of confidence in life, and it made me feel that nothing is impossible, that I can do things, that what is the worst case scenario? She always made me think about those things when I was upset, saying, what is the worst that can happen? This is now the worst. So now, everything is going to be good. And I think thanks to her, I'm who I am today because of this unconditional love, but also this boost of confidence that she was always right behind me. And I always felt that my shoulders were covered and I could go out in the world. And I always knew like she was there to support me. I would say a second person, definitely one of my university professors. When I went to study in the UK, my English was not very good and I was very shy about it. And I didn't want to speak too much. And in class, you're 100 people sometimes, and everybody's doing this amazing, brilliant points, and you don't understand half of the things they're talking about. So he was always coming to me and kind of saying, I know you understand. I know you can speak up. It's okay. We will be fine. It's a safe space. And so he really kind of pushed me out there and really pushed, I would say, my critical thinking. And that was something very, very important for me because I wasn't used to this questioning style, right? So he was always, you need to question things. You cannot just take them at face value. And even the news, before I was like reading the news and listening to the news and not really being so critical as I would be after university years. And he was also the one that always used to say, if you want something, just do it. You have the potential. Like, I believe in you. So don't feel that you're not ready for it. And this is something that I do sometimes with jobs. I apply for jobs that maybe are totally out of my league, as some of my friends would say. And then I go to the interviews and they're like, how did you get this job? And I'm like, probably nobody else applied. So because everybody thought it's such a high level out of my league job.
Friends aren't supposed to tell you that you're not good enough for a job.
They're not my friends anymore. No, I'm kidding. No, but sometimes you have, in the job advertisements, all these qualifications. And I remember when I was in the UK, it would be things like, you need to use this CRM system and this and that. And my professor, I would always go to him and he was always saying like, don't worry, like half of these things you are learning on the job. So just apply and go for it, because they will hire you for, who you are and things like that. And that stayed with me. And I always try to do that. And I would say also definitely one of my bosses in the past when I worked in the ITU, someone very, very serious, very kind of scary, I would say. That, at first when I met him, I was like, oh my God, I have to work for this person. How is this going to go? But someone, when he believes in you, is going to really give you everything in terms of coaching, in terms of pushing, in terms of really kind of network. So that was definitely someone that really influenced me.
No, that's super cool. And you're reminding me of my mom always used to say, if that's the worst thing that happens to you today, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that too. Thanks so much for sharing that. I know there's lots and it's tough to narrow down to three, but that was great stuff. So thank you.
Thank you.